Hello everybody, this is Steve Turbo. It's been a little while, hasn't it? But I figured that it was finally time for me to come out of hiding, as I normally do. I take about as many hiatuses as the guy who does Hunter x Hunter does. But I wanted to come out with you guys today and kind of talk about something pretty important. And that is going to be the discontinuation of the NES Classic. So, for whatever bizarre reason, my initial prediction for the NES Classic definitely fizzled out, I will say. I was expecting this unit to go well into the summer and become more widely available, assuming that the initial shortage of stock was Nintendo being Nintendo and creating artificial demand, and also to drive up holiday sales and to drive up its status to be the hottest item until the Switch came out. Logically, I thought that was what was going to happen. Unfortunately, that was not entirely the case. You see, Nintendo announced, I believe it was a week or two ago, that the NES Classic is going to be discontinued. In other words, no more. No more, no more, no how, no ever. You're going to have to basically go online, go through eBay, go through Amazon, go through various third-party sellers, and pray that you can get one at an affordable price, which at this point is next to impossible. The actual sales figures for these right now are looking to be anywhere in the ballpark of $400 to $1,000. That's what you're talking about right now. $400 to $1,000 for a NES Classic. You can literally go and buy a functioning Nintendo Entertainment System, an old school Nintendo, and all 30 of these games, and probably come out cheaper than you would for the NES Classic. And if you're quite the handy consumer, you can also make one, basically. I mean, all you really need is just a little know-how with Raspberry Pi, and you're good to go. So that leads me to this. What about tomorrow? As of this video's recording, today is Sunday, April 23rd, and Best Buy graciously announced to everyone today that they are going to be having stock of both the Nintendo Switch and the NES Classic. Oh God. But it's going to be on a Monday. Oh God. When most people have to work. Now myself, my job fluctuates. I either work evenings or I work mornings. Could go either way. But luckily, I have tomorrow off. I don't have tomorrow off, but I don't go until way into the evening. So I'm going to go and try and hunt down one of these treasured NES classics before it becomes no more. In other words, I'm not paying any more than $60. I'm not paying any more than retail for that thing. So why is Nintendo doing this? And why would they stop production of something so, well, honestly, like, cheap and easy to make and popular? Well, as it turns out, the rumor right now is that there is going to be the SNES Classic. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to take the Super Nintendo, crunch it down into a little box, stick 30 games in there, and they're going to call it the SNES Classic in the same vein as the NES Classic. So, what does that mean? Well, if I were you, I would definitely try to pre-order that as quickly as possible, because it's going to probably be just as hard, if not harder, to come by, because the SNES, honestly, in my own personal opinion, was a much more popular console. Now, that may just me be being a little one-sided, because I really prefer the SNES over the NES, but the SNES Classic opens a world of possibilities on what 30 games they may include. Such classics would include, obviously, Super Mario World, F-Zero, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, also known as Final Fantasy 4 and 6. Did I already say Chrono Trigger? Oh, well, we're going to say Chrono Trigger again. There is a ton of potential here for the SNES Classic, and all the more reason people would be busting down doors in order to actually go ahead and get this console. Now, I imagine they will have it at the same selling point at $60 like they would the NES Classic. But we'll see. Now, the biggest thing is that this is Nintendo, everybody, and if the SNES Classic does in fact become a true blue thing, I would pre-order as quickly as humanly possible because, well, let's face it, Nintendo's Nintendo, and they short stock everything. And I will admit, I wasn't quick to jump onto the NES Classic train, but I will absolutely be quick to jump on the SNES Classic train. And, potentially, in the future, a N64 Classic. It is in that vein that I actually decided to go ahead and hunt down this holy grail of modern gaming. I wouldn't necessarily call it modern gaming, but of the modern era, it's what they've done, and it has become a coveted little item. And as you well know, I am quite the collector and aficionado of such things. You know, I did get that Breath of the Wild Collector's Edition, Master's Edition, I should say, pardon me. Got the Master Sword statue sitting back there. Lovely. I already got my Switch. I'm very happy with the Switch. But the NES Classic, I have to get this thing because if they do release this NES Classic and they do release an N64 Classic and may gods bless us, a GameCube Classic, then buddy, I gotta say, I would be driven mad if I didn't have every single one of them because that's just how I am. So, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what is your plan? Are you going to be going and camping outside of Best Buy to try one last time to get the NES Classic? Will you succumb to the vicious, horrible scalpers who will be there tomorrow as well? And what are your hopes for games for the SNES Classic should it come out? Let me know in the comment section below, boys and girls, and as always, thank you all for everyone who is still subscribing and still watching the videos. I know I do a lot of hiatuses, I know, but life has been busy and, well, life slows down for no man, and also I've been busy with Overwatch and Persona.
But Steve, why don't you go ahead and record those games?
Well, we'll go ahead and look up what Atlas is doing to people who are streaming Persona 5, so we'll leave that be. And honestly, I'm not that good at Overwatch. I'm okay, but there are much better people to go and watch than me. So guys, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.